All right, nothing like a late Thursday night stream to make up for the fact that I will not be able to go live tomorrow, as I will be driving my happy ass down to Galveston, Texas. So why not go ahead and do one tonight for you guys? There's a lot to talk about, so let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to Tusk Talk with Ty. That's the very first time I got to say that. That's so fun. I had hoped to kind of do a live stream reveal of the logo, but I wasn't able to do that. Timing and all sorts of stuff, is what it is. I'm glad though we have we got the logo right up there. There you go. Do me a favor, if you guys haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to Tusk Talk with Ty. It's so weird not to say Pig Trail. That just kind of dawned on me. I'm sitting here doing these notes, getting all this ready, and I'm like, oh crap. That's I got to remember not to say Pig Trail Network. So no longer is Pig Trail Network. It is Tusk Talk with Ty. So shout out to Ashley Carter Forrest, a friend of mine who put that bad boy together, and she did it. She did all that with a newborn, a youngling. I'll say that, definitely a youngling, not really a newborn. But a baby nonetheless will not survive without her, and also she just walked to the University of Arkansas. So Ashley, I don't know if she's watching this or not, but probably not. But special shout out to her for the graphic. I do appreciate it. Yeah, if you're not if you're not a Patreon supporter yet, consider joining. Maybe you want to check that out. It goes a long ways. It really does. It helps the channel out immensely. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment. I'm going to try and make this one, I swear to God, I have to keep this one short because we're all hungry. We haven't eaten dinner yet, so as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go pick up some dinner. I'm really feeling some noodles, but I don't know if my wife wants to do noodles. But noodles sound so damn good right now. Oh my God, they're chicken parm. It's the best chicken parm on earth. Hola, Ty. What's up, Tony Brown? How you doing, my man? Hope all's well. Ricky Murray and Chris G. 3, 2, 1. Yo, that's right, man. That is correct. Special shout out, of course, to the sponsor of the show, the Tusk Talk with Ty. I'm going to just keep saying it. You got to break it in one way or another. Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. They offer same-day services, right? Emergency service 24/7, 365 days a year. Free estimates, quality parts, available outcomes, hundreds of 5-star reviews, better than best results. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667. Again, that's 501-244-3667. And tell them Ty sent you. Tell them Ty told me to call you. Maybe just call him just to tell him hi. No, I better not encourage you to do that. But rebrand looks fire. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Big man Ross, how you doing? Did you hear the news of Odom leaving for Georgia? LOL. Glad you like the rebrand, Tony. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's looking good. I'm not gonna lie. I had an idea when we were getting the logo all put together. I drew 2 sharp tusks. These kind of mean, angry, blacked out, kind of upward slanted kind of eyes, very beastly looking. And then, of course, I had the second set of tusk out here and then the big tusk out here. And she looked at it and she was like, how about we simplify it and let's just embolden it a little bit. Let's get rid of the eyes and the second pair of tusks and let's do it like this. And it turned out really good. That face, I figured you were messing with me, Johnny. I figured that, sir. But appreciate the comment, I guess. Again, if you guys have any questions or comments, do so. Anything. It could be anything. It could be like, Ty, are you going to be live streaming at all while you're in Galveston? And the answer to that would be, I'm going to try like hell. It's all going to depend on cell service. Maybe there's good Wi-Fi, or maybe we've got T-Mobile. I have no idea how well it works down there. I've never been to Galveston, so I have no idea. I'm fresh to all this. I know you had a short list of names. How close were you choosing the others? how much did Hogville actually have to do with the name change, the name and new logo? They had, okay. I'm glad you asked that, actually. I'm really glad. That's a very good question, Tony. I'm glad you asked. Okay, so I had been planning on a rebrand. I've been telling you guys that for a year. There's just so much that goes along with that. There's the possibility of making a Facebook page. I wanted to do that, but I didn't want to make a Facebook without the new logo. Reached out to a couple of graphic designer friends of mine. One of them wanted entirely too much, like way too much. And then actually 3, because a buddy of mine, Big Fry TV, if you don't watch Big Fry, you need to. He's got like 250,000 subscribers. Covers, well, he's all over the place now with games. He used to cover tactical shooters for PC. He's a good friend of mine. We actually used to do the Digital Fire podcast together, but he blew up. But he sent me to his graphic guy, and that guy wanted a lot of money. So it took me some time to do the rebranding. No, it's not like Hogville made any kind of like, hey, you have to, but they did encourage it. Like, hey, look, we have an affiliation with Pig Trail Nation. It's just too confusing. If you're considering rebranding, please do so. So I did it. I went through with it. But funny enough, even before that, like a week before that, I had already been reaching out to some other people about doing a rebranding. You know, look, there's still a lot of work left to be done. It's not finished, believe me. But no, they did. They have that relationship with Pig Trail Nation. You know, they have Hogville people on that show. You know, so they wanted me to. Of course, they're not going to ask them to do it. Hey, we're bringing on this guy. This YouTube guy, can you change your name from Pig Trail Nation to something else? That wasn't going to work. Of course not. They're far bigger. They have way more influence and all that than I do. And besides, funny enough, someone actually did jokingly ask me that. Like, did they ask Pig Trail Nation if they would change their name? And I'm like, yeah, that's not how that works. But good question, Tony. I appreciate that. If Landon Jackson performs, we will shut down every college football offense. Okay. You think fall camp will start around the 15th? No, fall camp will not start till the beginning of August. It's typically the first. It's either early second week of August or late first week of August. No, it doesn't. Fall camp doesn't start until then. You've got the summer camp that starts next week. It starts actually while I'm out of town. When I come back, it looks like there's a strong possibility I'm gonna venture with Otis Kirk, and I'm gonna get to see this all in person. Pretty excited about it, actually. So that way I can just tell you right here, hey, this is what I saw. This is what I liked. I'm also going to be possibly helping out with interviews as well. So I'm really excited about all that. Yeah. So again, if you guys haven't already liked the stream, I would appreciate that if you'd hit the like button. Help a fella out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the content. Check out all the links provided for you down below. Again, I know we already kind of showed off the May list. Oh, there goes that. I forgot I had direct service ads still clicked on there. But shout out to the May folks. I got to change that background, don't I? That's still got PTN on it. On the telly, I got to switch that up. But if you want to consider, we lost several Patreon supporters. If you want to consider helping out the channel, this goes a long way. So please consider joining for the month of June and maybe longer. We've got several people on that list that have been around for a minute. I'm here. I'm late, but I'm here. Hey, appreciate it, Austin. All right. So we got the introductory part of this done. Is that a word? Introductory? That's not a word. Someone Google that. Is that a word? Introductory. That's not a word. Not a word, Ty. Not a word. So with Hogville.net or Hogville.net, I have an interview that's posted there with Otis Kirk. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's only like 23, 24 minutes. My goal is to make those interviews short. I don't want them to be real long. Honestly, I didn't want to go over 20 minutes, and we did. I think we almost came up on 25 minutes. But I want to keep them at 20 minutes. Those guys are busy. They're super busy. Eventually Dudley Dawson will be on there. We're trying to figure out how we're going to do basketball. That's kind of still up in the air with Kevin McPherson. But I did an interview with Otis Kirk, and it was very interesting. He had a lot of positive things to say about the month of June. Just go watch it. I don't want to spoil it. Pretty surprising what he said about June. Now, someone had actually texted me right like that morning before Otis and I sat down to do our interview and said that 4-star commit Luke Haas was taking an official visit to Michigan. So I looked it up, and sure enough, it says it on 247. If you go look at their site, it says he's taking an official visit on the 10th this weekend to Michigan. Now, this is coming straight from, I don't know if I should say his name or not, coming from somebody that I very much rely on, says that's not happening. He's not going on an official visit. In fact, he's coming back to Arkansas this month. So I'm just going to take that because this individual I very much so trust. I don't know why it says that on 247. I don't know if that's from a long time ago and they just set it up and they never took it down. And that has happened before. I think I have seen that before on 247 where they had a visit that wasn't actually happening. And I know that you get offers on there all the time. It'll show so-and-so has this amount of offers. What they don't tell you is how many of those are actually committable offers. Sometimes they'll send out offers. Schools will send out offers, and a player will want to commit immediately, or they'll say, well, I want to commit next week, and the school will tell them, well, hold on, we're going to table the offer. It's still on the table, but we're tabling it right now just simply because of scholarship distribution or whatever other reasons. Typically, it's because they're still looking around at that particular position and they want to hold off just in case there's some other better prospects that come along. It happens all the time. Arkansas does it. Every school does it. Everyone, even the small schools. So that's also something you got to look for. Just because there's a whole bunch of offers, but then and that's not 247. They're just reporting on what they know. But 247, yeah, June 10th, 2022, Luke officially visits Michigan Wolverines. So I was told that is incorrect. He is not visiting. So you could, as far as I know, and I'm not saying that it's 100% written in cement that he's not going to Michigan, but apparently that is incorrect. Introductory is a word. Introductory. Why does that not sound like a word? Introductory. It sounds made up. Guys, I don't listen, I don't pretend to be something I'm not. I'm not a high IQ guy. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not a super high IQ fella. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to forget what words are from time to time. Introductory is a word. You're right. Now that I think about it out loud, it is a word. I've heard it used before. I heard the rumor of Luke Haas was taking official visits elsewhere. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't mean that he won't take official visits eventually down the road, right? It doesn't mean that eventually of course he's going to go. Of course he's going to take other offers or other visits. But there were also some kind of murmurings that he was not tweeting about Arkansas much, that he was talking to other schools. I don't know how solid his commitment is. Again, you're talking about 17, 18-year-old kids. You remember what you were like. I know I remember what I was like. I mean, who knows? For the moment, I think he's still pretty solid to Arkansas. He was not one of the three. If you look at those tight ends in that class, he's not someone you would look at and go, well, he's for sure, he's probably going to decommit. I think it was actually not Shamar Easter, but Jaden Ham, the kid out in Kansas, that they were more concerned about, that he would be someone that might flip. You just never know, man. And it just goes to show you, you got to take some of these recruiting sites, you got to take them with a grain of salt. Is this the first TTWT stream? It is, Mike. Isn't it special? And I've already made one incredible gaffe about not knowing what a word is. English class, Ty. English class. Yeah, well, I didn't do so well in English. You know why? Because I was too busy writing down the roster of the Rams after they won the Super Bowl. and writing out the next what the roster. True story. Writing out what the roster could look like. Like, we might lose so-and-so to free agent. What about, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Marshall Faulk? Like, let's look at their, their durability factor. Like, I'm writing all this crap out. I'm telling you, I was kind of – it just runs in the family. I've heard stories about my dad doing that with the Cardinals when he went to Farmington. He was a Cardinal. He went to Farmington High. But I've heard a story told many times about how he would write out – he would turn – I don't know if he's watching this or not, but I'm sure he would validate this. A teacher told him to turn in an assignment. My dad didn't know what to write down, so the teacher said, just write down anything so I can give you a grade. And my dad wrote down the Cardinals, like their starting lineup that year or something. I used to do the same thing with the Rams and the Razorbacks, forecasting the upcoming depth chart for the following year. I wasn't busy with your math and your fancy English. I wasn't doing that. Missouri has a top 10 class, and Vanderbilt has a top 25 class. I find that odd. Mizzou's done pretty good recruiting. I can't lie. Drinkowitz is doing something special over there, except winning games. I totally went there. They're recruiting good though. They finished top 20 last year, did they not? Top 25. Yeah, obviously it won't stay there. Vandy, I have such a hard time seeing. Yeah, they're not going to stay in the top 25. When the dust settles, I wouldn't be shocked if Missouri's still hanging around in the top 20, but I don't see Vanderbilt in the top 25. I did that once. Then my mom got a nasty email from a teacher. Yeah, I would do that, and I would doodle. The only thing I ever learned to draw was Sonic the Hedgehog. Only thing I could ever draw. So that's the update on Luke Haas. He is. He's not taking, as far as I know, from a very trusted source, he is not taking the Michigan trip. He's not going there. It's not a thing. Now, if it ends up being true, then I will scold my source. But this guy is rarely wrong. How about Malachi Singleton? Hog commit. He got an Elite 11 quarterback competition offer. So good for him. He's got a lot of comparisons to Taj Boyd. Of course, we've seen that name thrown around before, but a lot of people think that Malachi is going to get a bump in his ratings. So let's hope that happens. How many people with Hogville have you actually gotten to interact with? All of them. All of them. Except, I haven't talked with Alyssa Orange or Mike Irwin. But Mike Irwin apparently is pretty excited about doing some stuff with Hogville Net. So we'll see what happens, man. It's still so early. I would love to have any of them on. I'd love to have Alyssa on. That'd be really cool. All right. Moving on. Injury updates. Sam Pittman gave us a little bit of an insight on what's going on with injuries. The Torrin Carter stuff, and we have covered this so many times, but I just got to say, Sam Pittman came out and said it publicly. Torrin Carter, it's just kind of up in the air. I'm with, and again, Otis Kirk and I talked about this. It was yesterday. I can't remember when we actually sat down and did the interview, but he and I talked about it. I just have such a hard time seeing him play this year. I just don't see it. He's going to have to apply for a medical hardship, which would give him effectively 3 years. It'd give him 3 years of wait a minute. Arkansas just got to commit? It's me. I'm telling you, it's me. Every time I go live, something happens. Hang on. What's this all about? Hold up. Are you high on Dax Courtney? I mean, he's in that unknown territory right now. Like, it's one thing when they actually come on campus. Did Arkansas get a commit just now? Hold up. I'm searching the Twitters. There's OJ Simpson. Hello, Twitter world. I did not kill that one. I'm not seeing it. Oh, I am seeing Slim Chickens announced an NIL partnership. Looks like, is that Bumper Pool? Someone tagged me on Twitter. Someone tag me on Twitter if you guys see this. Shout out to Odd Soul who retweeted my live stream. You're special, Odd Soul. You guys, I don't know if you have. I hate to admit this. I've never been inside. I hear great things about the Odd Soul, but I think you guys have televisions in there. It'd be really awesome if you put this guy on one of your televisions. That'd be really cool. I know one of them over there watched this show because they tweet. I've heard great things though about Odd Soul. I'm going to go in there one day. I'm not seeing anything about a commit. I just got a text that Arkansas got a commit. Are you guys seeing anything? What are you guys saying in live chat? Nope, nothing. Okay. Well, we'll just have to wait. If we get some information here. Oh, is this is this Hogs Land? This has got to be nonsense. Okay. All right. Just wanted to hear your opinion on Dax because when we played him, he got manhandled by our 5'7" linebacker. Yeah, again, he's just in that discovery phase. I remember his recruitment vaguely. You know, most people I talked to liked his size, thought he had some pretty good hands. Wasn't super explosive off the line of scrimmage. But again, pretty good catch radius, pretty wide catch radius, kind of a longer body. Other than that, I just don't know a ton about him. And typically, if that's the case, you know, then I'm not saying that means he's bad. It just means he didn't have a lot of eyeballs on him. And, you know, I don't think he was invited to any big camps. I could be wrong. Who's it saying we got? Well, I don't know. I just got sent a screenshot. It says breaking Hogs Land quarterback for 2023 recruiting class. So we'll try to stay on top of that while we're going through this. But at the moment, that was actually... Give me a name. Who is this? Hang on. Do you guys do the voice to name question mark? Oh my God. Is this the Malachi Singleton? Oh my Lord. Okay, moving on. I think someone thought that it was that's not someone who typically texts me like that kind of late information. It's got to be the I think they thought it was a new. I think they thought that it was a new commit. It's not. I'm pretty sure that's Malachi Singleton. Threw me completely off. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not seeing anything anywhere. That's not anyone that sends me football information. But anyways, yeah, Dax is. We'll see. I mean, you know, doesn't mean he's going to be a bad player. In high school, it's just as likely to have an off game as you are in college or pro. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Dude, it was my dad. I hate to throw him under the bus. My dad sent me that, and I when he's in here, when Arky 56 is in here, you guys got to tell him you're throwing your son off. It's Malachi Singleton. He just sent me the name. Dad, he's committed. Hop on my live show. How does he not know? We're live talking about it right now. Oh my gosh. That's funny. I feel like Ruskin and Zach when they read their text messages on the air. Oh, so you already knew about it. Yeah, known about it for a couple of months now, actually. Okay, anyways, moving on. I was going to say, I didn't know we were expecting any commitments today. So, Sam Pittman talked about injuries. Okay, fast forward. Boom, we're there. Mindset, we're good to go. So, Sam Pittman talked publicly about the injuries, right? Torrin Carter out, who was injured in the red-white scrimmage. The only good news coming out of that, and I hate to put it like that, but the only good news that we got out of that is that Arkansas did add some numbers. They added some poundage there which they needed to anyways, whether there's a healthy or not so healthy Torrin Carter. TC had a really strong camp, but I would argue, and going back to what Sam Pittman and what Otis Kirk and I were talking about when he was mentioning Torrin Carter, doesn't look like he's going to play this year. Probably going to have to apply for medical hardship. So you're adding some bodies and all that. I would argue, though, that this is still a blow to an already to a defensive line that's already struggling with star power and actual talent on the field, developed talent. I'm not talking about any other 4-star. I realize you got these transfers coming in and all that, but it's a pretty big blow considering, right? So, yeah, I think Arkansas lost a good one in that. Dad, are you in here yet? Arky56, are you in here? I told you to hop in here. We're all puzzled at how you did not realize Malachi Singleton was – I'm failing as a son. That's what's happening here. You guys are witnessing it live. I am failing as a son when my own dad does not realize Malachi Singleton has been committed for a minute now, for a little bit. Oh, well. Moving on, the Outback Bowl is no more. It's now called the Relia, I don't know, something, Relia Quest Bowl. It's the new name, so the Outback Bowl is no more. So Arkansas technically is the last winner of the Outback Bowl. The Outback ended its sponsorship, and the bowl has been renamed. Well, it says the bowl has been renamed the Tampa Bay Bowl for the past 3 months. Well, I didn't know that. But I guess so. We're just now finding out their new name. I guess we've been waiting on that. But that's coming from Brett McMurphy. I had no idea they lost their name or that they pulled out. Random question, but I want to know your thoughts. Musselman or Oates? Who do you think is the first to leave for a bigger coaching job? Musselman has roots out west, and Oates has been rumored everywhere. I have no idea, man. Tony, I have no idea. They're both in a really good situation. I think the dedication to basketball is much better here than it is over there for obvious reasons. Alabama's a football school. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't. You're right about the West Coast love. You're right about that. For Musselman, but I don't know, man. I mean, right now both of those guys have it made. I would say the expectations are higher for Musselman simply because of the basketball tradition here, and now you combine that with winning. Like, I get it. Mike Anderson was given a lot of time, but Mike was fired. He's not someone who was wanted by a whole bunch of schools after his first several years here. Like a lot of other – I mean, I think there were some schools that were interested, but nobody of any real serious threat. Musselman would be the opposite. Musselman right now, I think if the right West Coast gig, college or NBA, were to come around, I would be concerned. I'm not saying that he would go. Muss has already been rumored. You talk about Oates. Muss was rumored for Louisville. Muss was rumored for Maryland. A couple other schools. Like, he's rumored every time there's an opening, there's an article somewhere, and we're just sitting here laughing about it because they've mostly been either Midwest or Northeast schools. When a West Coast school comes around, then I'm going to be a little bit concerned. Or if a Kentucky, KU, for whatever reason, North Carolina, of course Duke that's not going to happen anytime soon with what's going on there now. But if one of those schools open up, if one of the true blue bloods, then I might be a little concerned. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I can't read his mind, and I don't know what else is going on behind the scenes. I know his family really loves it here, but you know what? I'm sure Oates' coach is saying, or family is saying the same thing about Alabama. I would probably guess Oates would leave first because that's not a school that like they don't have the same kind of fanfare, love, and interest into sports like we do, if I'm honest. Because if you look at, hell, softball, look at the support softball got. Yeah, they were winning, and that always draws people still, whatever. But even before that, I've heard that they still draw. They've drawn pretty well, and they drew pretty well last year. Look at baseball. Compare baseball between us and Bama. Basketball, even during the meh years under Mike, right? Football's where they get you, but still, there's quite a bit of support here for football. We know that. So yeah, I could see Nate Oates, but at the same time, Nate Oates is somebody that I don't know if he's, the expectations aren't as high at somewhere like Alabama, and they're higher here. Let's be real, they're higher, especially after back-to-back Elite Eights. Mike says, I think Oates will leave Bama first. I think Musk knows he can get a natty here and is really close to one. Yeah, and that's also true. Actual long-term success, where do you think it's more likely to happen? To be fair, Arkansas hasn't been relevant on a national level in postseason play in 2 decades plus. But Bama, I mean, come on. Really? I mean, are we going to have that conversation? Of course not. What's your pick for Arkansas? Okay, yeah, well, since I'm not going to be live for any pregame stuff for any of these games, I'll make that pick at the end. Because we are going to discuss that here in a second. I was only scared from us leaving when the Arizona job. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. I say West Coast. Anyone west of like Oklahoma concerns me. And then, of course, you go north to KU and you're a little bit concerned. How's North Carolina stand up against Arkansas? So, again, these numbers, like if you go to d1baseball.com, their numbers are all over the place, and they're also factoring in the rest of the field, like everybody who's not included in the postseason play. So to actually get a good indicator on their strength, it's scrutinized because obviously several teams have not played since late last month. So those numbers are scrutinized. Did do a little bit of research, and I have those numbers again. We'll get to that here in just a second. Actually, that's the next and final segment, Arkansas, North Carolina. So actually, that is my next thing. Did we cover everything else? What are we at? The 34-minute mark? Okay, let's make this quick. All right. Did we? Oh, we didn't talk about the running back. That's the very last. Hang on, let me scroll down. Yeah, that was the very last part. Was actually so baseball and then the football commit. We'll start with the football commit first. I had my page pulled up here. Where'd it go? Where did you go? Last name difficult to pronounce. I think it's Augustave is how you're supposed to pronounce it. Isaiah Augustave, 6'1", 190 pounds. If you look at the thumbnail that I made, I did not Photoshop that dude's tree trunk legs. That guy has legs as big around as my fat head. That dude has some tree trunks. All right, this isn't chicken leg Darren McFadden. No offense. Of course, Darren McFadden, one of the greatest to ever play the game. Yes. But he also had a nickname, chicken legs, right? This dude has burst. He's not an east-west type of runner. He's a north-south runner. That's coming from Otis Kirk, and that's coming from some other people I've talked with and what little that's out there on him. He is a 3-star prospect. He's a .863 star, according to the 247 composite. He's out of Naples, Florida for this 2023 class. He's another one of those guys people believe, because he plays in a pretty competitive place. Naples, I'm not sure their division, but I think it's one of the higher divisions in Florida. He plays some pretty difficult competition. But again, he's 6'1", 190. I've been told that is completely legit. He might actually be closer to 6'2", 200 now. But he's a big, long kid. Big. When you got a tall guy with big legs like that, he's got a lot of power, a lot of burst. If you look at his verified results, it says his 100-meter was 11.16, but that was over a year ago, March of last year. He runs track, but does not plan on taking any more visits. He's done. Again, that's coming straight from Otis. He's done. He's a hard commit. Fully intends on playing here or signing here. Big time prospect in terms of, you can't look at the stars, but as someone who has a really high ceiling. He just looks, from the waist down especially, he just looks the part. He looks the part, period. He's a big guy, but he's got some burst. I don't know. I wouldn't compare him to, I don't know who you'd compare him to here with that size, but he could be someone, again, wouldn't shock me at all if he went to one of these camps and he gets a 4th star. Someone who is, out of all the 3 stars, maybe one of the closest to that point coming. Again, that's just based on what I've read, kind of what I've been told. And again, we know these recruiting sites too. I mean, running backs are kind of viewed a little bit differently. They're always like that dime a dozen kind of conversation when you talk about backs. But he is someone that, again, could very well get that 4th star. We'll see. But he's got offers. And I was also told the Tennessee offer is 100% legit. That is a committable offer. He received an offer back in April from Maryland, Eastern Carolina. I'm not sure. There was kind of a belief he was waiting on maybe a different Florida offer, but he does have a Florida State offer, and South Florida also gave him an offer as well. But good pickup for the Razorbacks for sure. He is not a 5-star lone sportsman outfitters, but could be at least he may not get the 4-star, but I think he could get a bump in his composite. North Carolina is not a better team than Oklahoma State, in my opinion, and I agree with that, actually. What up, Ty? What's up, Frederick? How you doing? So what do you think about running back? Yeah, 6'1", 6'2", decent speed. Yeah, he's got some burst. I don't know. We don't have his 40 time. We don't know anything beyond that. What 247 has for us, but just from what I understand, he's quick. He's not an east-west guy. He's a straight north-south type of running back. Who is this Luke guy? Oh, you're talking about Haas, the 4-star. Oh. There he is. Arky56 makes an appearance. Dad, how did you not know Malachi Singleton has been committed for months? Or at least 2 months, right? When did he commit? Honest mistake. I realize not everybody keeps up with it. But yeah, he committed at the end of April. Is that right? Yeah, end of April is when he committed. He's been here for a while, Dad. He's been committed for a little bit. But he is going to the Elite 11 camp. There is that, Dad, if you missed that part. Alex Henderson says Derrick Henry. I mean, size-wise, maybe. Yeah, what is Henry's like 230, though, is he not? Isn't Derrick Henry like 6'1", 230 or something? Some of these 3-stars could be 4 by the end of next. Yeah, that is correct, Michael. You are right. Man, if he gets Florida Gator offer, he might change his mind. I think that was one of the schools that might be someone you should be concerned about if they do offer, which is always something when you hear a kid say, especially this early in the recruiting cycle, I'm not taking any more visits. Take that with a grain of salt too, because if the right offer comes along and they have they're able to go, they could take that. They could take that official visit. Would love to see a monster back like that. Yeah, he's thick down low, man. I mean, I'm telling you, he's got legs like that. Tree trunks. Henry's 6'3". Is he 6'3"? I know he's tall. He's like 6'2". Oh, Derrick Henry type build. He's got to put some weight on because right now he's listed at 190. But, what was Derrick Henry out of high school? He's probably, I really don't know. I might want to watch what I say there because he probably was like 220 out of high school. He's a good one for sure. Boy, the Titans. How about that? Treylon Burks has asthma. Folks over there freaking out. Maybe they should be. What do you think? Should they be freaking out about Burks having asthma? Did they know that? How much did they know that when they drafted him? I imagine they knew. They had to have known. There's no way you go through that process and not know that a player has asthma. Once he gets to college, yeah, he could put on the weight. You're right. And he's got the frame to do it. He has the frame to do it, for sure. Derrick Henry came out of the womb at 200 pounds. He was such a big back, dude. Emmitt Smith had asthma. I didn't know that. Did he really? All right, that's going to cover it for that. The last part of this, we're going to talk a little bit about North Carolina really quick, getting ready for this regional, super regional, that is. North Carolina finished 4th in the RPI according to NCAA.com, in the final ranking that was set back on May 29th. They won 11 of their first 12 games, and then I think they went on to win like 16 of their first 18. Not against high-quality opponents, but still. They're 17-14 against NCAA tournament teams. Arkansas is just 13 of 12, or 13 and 12 against NCAA tournament-worthy opponents. They were 20-4 against non-conference teams. Arkansas was 21-4. 16 times North Carolina scored in the double digits in the runs category. Arkansas 18 times. Really hard to get a good measure of just what they are overall as a team, but they weren't much better. In fact, I read an article where they, I think it was, I did not save the link. Of course I didn't, but I want to say it was the SB Nation Tar Heel page. But if I read that right, you could tell in the way they wrote that out, they were a little bit nervous of Arkansas. I think that is the case. According to D1 Baseball, they finished 15-15 in conference play. Well, it says here they're 27-5 in non-con. So I've got two different numbers here. And their RPI puts them at third. This is D1 Baseball. Non-conference RPI is 18th. Their strength of schedule, they have them at second. Now, they did have the end of the year, the ACC, what was it, 3 of the top 5 teams were out of the ACC. Their non-conference strength of schedule was 85th, but their non-con RPI was 18th. Again, this is all D1 Baseball. So versus RPI teams, they were 9-14. 26 through 50, they were 11-2. 51 to 100, they were 8-2. 101 to 200, and then again, this is RPI. They were 6-0. 201 plus, they were 5-1. They look to be like a team that I mean, a lot of low scores. Looking up and down their scores. Chapel Hill, regional. This could be a good one. I think it's going to be a knockout, drag-out fight. They're not. I read an article about North Carolina not selling tickets. Have you guys seen this? UNC Baseball isn't selling NCAA Super Regional tickets to general public until Saturday. So if you know anyone that's like trying to go, or if you're trying to go, the only thing that's available are standing up tickets at the moment. I guess, is it today? Let's see. Tickets for the NCAA Tournament Super Regionals aren't available to the public. School athletic officials said Wednesday, though a limited number of standing room only tickets will be put on sale just prior to Saturday. Okay, so they're not out yet, the standing up tickets. Tar Heels 42-20, host Arkansas, who's 41-19. Name of the stadium is Boshamer Stadium, and it holds like 4,000. I think it's 4,200 or 4,100, something like that. They did end up. Hang on, let me scroll down. I thought I read they went over their capacity. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Okay, UNC lists the stadium capacity at 4,100. A crowd of 4,160 filled the place for the regional clinching victory over VCU Monday night. Tar Heels assistant athletics director Gary Pakzinsa, I don't know, whatever, said Rams club donors, the fundraising arm for UNC sports and baseball season ticket holders, have gobbled up North Carolina's ticket gobbled up North Carolina's ticket allotment for this weekend. Let's see. Arkansas has received about 600 tickets. That includes the pass list covering the team's family members and friends. Wow. The tickets were required to give Arkansas, they're required to give to Arkansas as the visiting team, and what our Rams club and season ticket holders consumed. There's none available to the general public outside of those standing room tickets. Why the hell is this game there? Why are we here? Why are the super regionals being hosted by teams that can't even fill 6,000 people in their freaking in their stadium? There should be a bare minimum. And maybe it should be more than 6,000, but then again, you cut a lot of schools out if you do that. I get it. North Carolina deserves the Super. Like, they won the games, right? They did enough. Their RPI or whatever was higher. RPI is a joke. You know, Arkansas or the SEC sending what 5 teams to the like where are we at versus the ACC, right? How many teams? This is ridiculous. This is so stupid. So now you're not even gonna have, you know, not a lot of Hog fans are gonna be there. They're gonna be loud. This is stupid. We just didn't have enough seats. They're gonna sell standing up tickets. Hog fans will go. You know that. We all know that. There's Hog fans in that area. I'm sure. They're everywhere. This isn't a small fan base. This stuff just so stupid. Stadium gates will open hours prior to the game's time. Last week, UNC sold ticket packages for the 4-team NCAA regional at Boshamer. I'm going to call it Boshamer Stadium in Chapel Hill that included Georgia, VCU, and Hofstra. Costs were $15 for single games and $60 for tickets to the full session. Yeah, well. So game 1 will be on the 11th. It'll be, 10 a.m. our time? Is that right? Is it 10 a.m. our time, 11 a.m. there? Game 2, June 12th, 1 p.m. there. And then, of course, to be determined on game 3 if necessary. Yeah, a 10 a.m. start time, a bit early, ain't it? Well, it just kind of is what it is. It's supposed to be aired on ESPN, isn't it? Let's pull that up really quick before I call tonight. Loving you easy cause. Yeah, 10 a.m. And then Sunday will be 12 p.m. And then, of course, we've got TBA on Monday for the Chapel Hill Super Regional. Arkansas should be hosting. I'm just saying. And there really should be a minimum, right? There really should be a bare minimum. If you can't sit 6,000 people in your baseball stadium, then we're either going to do it somewhere close to the team that deserved it or we're going to the other team. JMI, I don't know. JMO, just my opinion. Nichols Kendrick says, if Arkansas makes it past NC, do you think they make a deep run in the World Series? The way they're hitting, if they can continue to do this, if they can do this against North Carolina, of course, bullpen management's going to be key game 1. It's going to be key every game if there is a game 3. But if they could stay hot, if their bats can stay hot, I'm telling you, man, Hagen Smith, should he just come out of the bullpen? Should he be a closer or middle relief pitching? Should Hagen Smith not be a starting pitcher? Did you guys hear that story about someone told Mike Irwin about in high school he was a better pitcher coming out of the bullpen, coming out to close or whatever, middle relief, than he was a starting pitcher? And Mike Irwin relayed that to Dave Van Horn, and Dave Van Horn said to get that guy's name so he could hire him. Wonder what they do about that. But if they can stay hot, and if their middle relief, which I think has been pretty decent this year, if their middle relief comes through, I don't have much hope for their starting pitching. But if Tigert is utilized, not overutilized, yeah, I think they could make a run. And they got to get past NC. NC's hot. NC is on fire right now. They're playing some really good baseball themselves. They won how many of their last games? Like all of them. They swept Florida State 7-5, 10-4, 11-0. They beat Clemson 9-2 in the ACC tournament game in Charlotte. They beat Virginia Tech 10-0. They beat Notre Dame 7-2. NC State 9-5. They beat Hofstra 15-4 in their first regional game in Chapel Hill. They did lose to VCU, but then they clobbered VCU the second time they matched up 19-8. Well, how many of their final games did they win? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of their final 12 games they've won. They're on fire. They've scored 10, 15, and 19, at least that many on their, well, I should say their highest of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. So 3 times in their last 8 they've gone double digits. Although Arkansas on the year has had more double-digit run games, +2 in that category. So NC has great bats. Yeah, they're hitting the ball pretty good. They're doing pretty good. And I think they were a damn good hitting team throughout the year too. I think that was kind of something that they did well. So it's going to be tough, man. They got to get through. They got to get through these guys first. But I'll say so. My pick. You guys tell me. What do you think? What do you think? Arkansas is hitting the ball really well. They did really well in their regional. Arkansas did. I say theirs. The Stillwater regional, where they scored 20 runs. They scored against Oklahoma State. Those bats were crushing it, right? Their first 2 games, they scored 34 runs, but they gave up 22. Total, they gave up 25 runs to Oklahoma State in those 3 games. But still, and yeah, you didn't finish great. You finished terrible. You lost that series to Vanderbilt, even though you beat Auburn, right? That was like the last bit of good regular season baseball we saw from Arkansas. That was it back in early May. And then Vanderbilt took 2 out of 3. And then Bama beat you. In fact, they beat you into the SEC tournament. You won game 1, then you dropped the next 3 to Alabama. They clobbered you on May 21st, 18-5. Can't have that happen. You can't have anything like what we saw at the end of in the month of May. You can't have anything like that. I mean, you did beat Auburn. That was the good part of May. We thought, well, we're off to a good start. You just came off that series win against Ole Miss in Fayetteville. You beat Auburn on the road, who at the time everyone was, oh, this is a Omaha caliber team, Auburn is. Arkansas took 2 out of 3 there at their house. But then you dropped 2 out of 3 to Vanderbilt, who was so meh this year. Had no business losing that one. Had no business losing to Alabama 3 straight times. Play like you did in that Stillwater Regional. Those bats stay hot like they did. Yeah, they're going to Omaha. They haven't played us. I think OK State prepared us. Maybe that's what happened. All right, that's it. I'm done. Oh God, 54 minutes. Shit, I failed there. Every time you guys get me going, this is what happens when you guys get me going on some tangent. All right, I'm gonna try and stream if I have a good signal. If not, I'll see you guys late next week. We won't be back until the 15th, so that'll be next Wednesday, and so I probably won't be available again to stream till maybe that Friday. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But if I don't hear from you, if you don't hear from me until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being subscribers. I know you, those of you who appreciate the new look, who've given the kind words to the new look. I appreciate you guys. Patreon supporters, of course, you guys are a big reason why I'm able to do this. Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Also, Travis Ford and the boys. Thank you guys so much. But I'm hoping, and I think we're going to have good Wi-Fi. If that's the case, you will see me. It'll be in Galveston, but you'll see me. All right? Woo pig, and I'll see you guys around.